Hey guys, so face to face again instead of just on a voiceover. Why am I doing this? It's because I feel like when I'm doing a voiceover, I can't express myself in the way that I really want to, and a lot of things and a lot of topics that I'm going to be discussing. It's better that I do it on the sort of the webcam, face to face, and then I talk about my training and how things going like that on the voiceover. I think it's better because I'm allowed to sort of have this sort of connection time with you guys. You seeing me on a webcam um, is much better than me just talking behind a video and almost hiding away from um, you'd see me in real life and we'd have a chat, and this is very similar. So that's the way I want to get across my information, especially when it's topics that I feel are important and I feel that you guys can sort of capitalize and grab information off. It's best that I get them across on this sort of face-to-face format. So today, before my pool workout, I'm going to be talking about how I got into personal training and how I started Made by Morris. So, obviously, throughout education, I was very sort of into health and fitness, having a background in sort of racing karts and motorsport. I always knew that it was something that I'd look into and I'd definitely consider. I didn't know that it was definitely for me, and in all honesty, I had quite a lot of times when I thought that it really wasn't. It really was not for me, and whether that was where I was at the time, or the education process, or where I was in regards to other things, so not just work. So, did my sort of relationships at the time affect how I was feeling in general, and have an effect on how I was feeling in my work, which can be something that does come into play. And you need to consider when making big decisions. You need to consider how well you are developed as a person before you make big decisions regarding a career. Okay, so education wise, in college I took a level 2 fitness instructor course, which is a good option for you young guys. If you're in college, you can capitalize on having that funded, which saves you about £1,000 in the long run. So if you can have that sort of level 2 funded at college, try and get it done, because it'll save you about £1,000 in the long term. And also alongside that, I did a level 2 nutrition course, which in all honesty, you probably don't need. But it's good to have, and if you can do it for free, again, do it. And if it's something that you're interested in, it's going to be better than sitting in a class. Like, for example, I did my first year, I did psychology. I hated it. I sat in class and wasted time. So, and I didn't get a qualification. I ended it after the first year. I think I got something silly like an E in my sort of exams that I did in that. So don't be scared of failing if that proves that something's not right for you. Okay, so that's what I did at college, those two, and then I moved away obviously from college, and I was still in work for a short period of time. I actually worked in Sainsbury's, and I had a paper round. I worked in Sainsbury's, I worked in a call centre, and then from the call centre I decided that I wanted to, because I got a fair amount of sort of funding from that. It was about this time last year, so not very long ago, guys. So things can change very quickly. Work hard and things will change, guaranteed. Okay, so this time last year, moved away from a call centre. It's actually about January time, so I was still at the call centre about this time last year, just taking calls about gym memberships. So yeah, okay, nothing wrong with that, by the way. And so I left the call centre. I went to a company called Premier Training, and I did my level 3. Now that cost me quite a lot of money. I think it was about £2,500. It was a 4-week course in Crawley, and they do them all around the UK. And you can pay it off monthly. I think I'm still paying mine off. It's got like a few more months and then I'm done. So you can pay it monthly. I think it's about, like, if you've done the level 2 prior, it's about £2,000, something like that, for the level 3. Whereas if you've not done the level 2, you'll have to do it all together, and it works out a bit more. Hence why I was saying, if you can do it at college, get it done. So you can pay that off monthly as well, which obviously makes it a bit easier for us young guys, if we haven't got the funding. And that was a 4-week course. It's 6 weeks if you have to do the level 2. And obviously once you've got that, you can basically be a personal trainer. So you can basically avoid or skip the sort of jobs which include the cleaning and the maintenance of the gym, which is great to get experience in the gym. But if you want to personal train, get the level 3 and then try and go directly into personal training, rather than sitting in something that maybe might make you not like the gym, or it might take away from your enjoyment of the gym if you're constantly there and you're doing something that you don't really enjoy. For example, cleaning. If you don't really enjoy that, it can change your perspective on the gym, and that's not nice to see. Because the only reason I'm mentioning this is because I've seen it happen, and I have a friend or friends that have done the cleaning jobs and they've been passionate as hell, really passionate, and then started to really not like it following cleaning. So yeah, just if you want a personal train, you want to get straight into it, get that level 3 done. And qualifications wise, that's all I've done. So I've done sort of what's required to be a personal trainer. Now, what I'm going to mention is the fact that if you want to either set up your own sort of coaching company or something like that, where you are coaching either athletes or I coached Marcus this year, you've got to be willing to maybe do something sort of along the lines of helping someone for a very reduced price, or helping someone for free, in order to prove that you are going to have some form of testimonial or some form of results in order to prove your worth, so to speak. At the start of last year, when I sort of halfway through the year, I decided to set up Made by Morris. I didn't really have any proof that I could be a great coach, apart from the fact that obviously when I spoke to people were like, yeah, he sort of knows his stuff, and I could speak very fluently about sort of health and fitness and fat loss and lean muscle gain and stuff like that, and people could tell that I'd done my research, and I had, when I had free time, I'd read books, or I'd just fill myself with as much knowledge as possible, because if you're passionate about something, you've got to show it off to people whenever you get an opportunity. So if someone comes up to you in the gym and asks you, if you're halfway through a session and they ask you what bicep movement is best, take that question and just expand on it, and who knows, they could become a client in the future. So develop your knowledge is the thing that leads on. So qualify, yes, but develop your knowledge. Learn off people that are, learn off people on. I said that twice. I'm going to say it 3 times. Learn off people on YouTube, books, and stuff like that, and really get your head stuck into it. Because once you do, everything you say will just pour out. Information, you'll be able to just reel it off, and it's brilliant. If you're passionate about something and you can reel information off, it's awesome, and people believe in you. So yeah, if you want to start your own sort of coaching, your own sort of online business, maybe think about doing something for a reduced price and work with someone very, very dedicated. I knew Marcus was very dedicated. He was my training partner for a while, and I knew that he had potential. I could see it. I wanted to capitalize on it. I helped him for the whole year, and I couldn't have asked for more. He was a great sort of testimonial for me, and you know what, he's become an awesome friend. So if you help someone, they're generally gonna they're probably gonna become a really good friend, and you're gonna have that for ages. And that's something that's probably one of the top reasons that I love my job, is because I get to develop relationships with people and watch them change. I'm not just helping Marcus, I'm helping Marcus's partner now, and she's coming to the end of her fat loss phase, and she's done awesome, and it's just been like so unreal that just a little chubby kid walking into fits can walking into a gym, my local gym, and meet these people and sort of persuade them to go on this massive fat loss journey. And I really sort of, obviously this video is dragging on a bit, but I want to express that if you want to get into this, it's brilliant, it's awesome. Do your research. Anyone can get involved. Don't be put off by people telling you that you can't do it. Don't be put off by anyone telling you that you're too young. Anyone can do it. And if you have any more questions about how I got into it, what courses, I'll try and link Premier's sort of website down here for the level 3 course. And I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you enjoy the training footage that follows. Alright guys, see you later. Hey guys, and welcome to another voiceover. I hope you enjoyed, if you did watch it, my sort of previous one-to-one sort of webcam style video with you guys to sort of explain how I got into personal training and what the best options are, especially for young individuals who are sort of looking to get into personal training. But now obviously I'm going to voice over this training footage, which was a pull hypertrophy workout. So we're working with some deadlifts to start off with. I always start with compound. So I always start with either a deadlift, bench press, an overhead press, something like that, or a squat obviously, or a front squat, and then I sort of progress onto my accessory movements later on in the session. So you've just seen me warm up with some barbell complexes, which I explained on Instagram. I'm not sure if you can hear it in the background, but my dog is actually barking, so I do apologise if it's disturbing this voiceover. So here we are. This was, I believe, either my second or my third sets. We did 3 sets of 9 here on the deadlift, and we took it up from last week. We were at 120 kilos, still coming out of sort of prep, so still working up to my usual max, or my usual loads. So 125 kilos here for a set of 9, and these felt really good. And why is the question. I mean, I see a lot of people on YouTube that say, oh well, these felt really good. Okay, why? Why did they feel good? They felt good because I actually closed up my stance, and I got this from a few videos that I watched of people similar to my height deadlifting, and I transferred it, and I thought, okay, well, let's give it a shot. see how this sort of close stance feels, and it felt awesome. I felt like I could drive through my midfoot a lot better, and I could literally feel the difference in glute activation. You've got to remember that the deadlift is a hip hinge movement, so you are going to be using a lot of hip drive and a lot of your glutes to bring the weight from A to B. And previously I was having quite a wide stance and trying to sort of almost utilize my quads too much, like sitting in too deep into the deadlift, which eventually led to my hips shooting up far too quick, and that basically was not very efficient in the way that I was pulling the weight. So look at your deadlift. Is it efficient? Are you pulling the weight from A to B in the best way possible? I wasn't, so I changed my stance. And here you see my AMRAP set. I take a little bit more time before it because I'm almost a bit anxious, because I know that this is going to be sort of an all-out set. You can see on my face I'm sort of almost grimacing because I know that this is going to be sort of a tougher set. So I prepare myself mentally for this set, and I make sure that I get through the first sort of 9. So like a normal set, I've done 3 sets of 9. This is the 4th set, so we're going for as many as possible. I try and get through the first 9 as smoothly as I can. So here we go, getting close to that 9th rep, and obviously it sort of feels very difficult at this point, but I know in my head, having done the previous sets, that I can get more. So obviously I keep my form intact. As soon as it slips, I will stop. There you go, that was pretty good. I'm happy with that. I think I got 12 in the end, unless you've counted less, and my maths wasn't very good, but I believe I got 12. So, as I said, moving on from my compound movement in this pull session, I am now going on to my accessory movements. And this is something that I've been really, really liking. It's something that I've put into a 4-week block, and technically I'm in my 4th week, but the first week was sort of post-show training. So I'm technically in my 3rd week in this block, and I'm really enjoying this movement. I actually got it from a talk at the Ben Kuma seminar, and it was from a guy called Stephen Box, and he was talking about fully engaging your lats on a lat pull down or a pull up, and how you can really engage your lats when you do a movement single hand and drive the whole so that extra range of movement that you've got at the bottom with the handle and that slight twist, as you can see more clearly in this footage. Slight twist allows you to engage the lat to its full extent, whereas with a lat pull down you're sort of inhibited by your chest, and you can only pull the bar to a certain extent, whereas you can certainly pull this a lot further and increase your range of motion. So give this a shot and see if you like it. I've utilised it with a few clients of mine, and some have liked it, some didn't. So I think it's sort of a personal opinion as to whether you like this movement or not. I like it though, and I think I'll be keeping it in. So thanks very much, Stephen Box, for that. And if any of you want to sort of spend a bit of time increasing your knowledge, then I highly recommend listening to one of Ben Kuma's and Stephen Box's podcasts about bodybuilding. I think that would suit a lot of my audience, especially obviously fellow bodybuilders, and I'll try and post a link to that in the sort of description box below. It's good to share information that's good quality information, and those guys are putting out great stuff. So moving on to another new movement in my pull training. Essentially this could be a push, because it is partly a chest movement, so you can angle the dumbbell in order to target your chest a little bit more. But I found that originally when I was using it on a push day, and I was trying to target my chest, but I found that I was getting a lot of sort of serratus, which is the muscle that sort of inserts at the side of your lat, so where your lat comes round and inserts. It's sort of like hidden there in sort of quite close to your obliques. So I've been utilising this on my pull days, and obviously trying to target my back, and I really like it. So I'm working this in the 10 to 15 rep range, I believe, and really sort of progressing quite quick because it's a new movement. And yeah, my glutes look pretty good there, don't they? I think. Although you do have to, by the way, with that movement, it's a pain in the arse to set up. And when you're finished, you get the dumbbell, and the dumbbell sort of like slips onto your knee, and then slips out of your hand, and you end up having to like chuck it. So make sure that you're like quite far away from any other gym goers, because I actually ended up chucking the dumbbell at one of my friends, and so yeah, don't do that. Just go with the side of caution on the dumbbell pullovers. Anyway, I managed to record myself curling 3 times, and literally I think that sort of crowd of people over there, I don't know if anyone watching my video, but that crowd of people over there were looking at me like, why does he need to record himself curling so many times? So yeah, that's the problem with like going at this sort of time and trying to record a YouTube video. Although my quads look quite decent there. Sorry, and so yeah, they were like sort of wondering why I was recording so many sets. But yeah, that's the problem with going at this sort of time. It does get quite busy, and it's a sort of a little bit hard to whack my phone in several different places and record sets without people sort of walking through. I'm not bothered about people walking by or knocking the camera. To be fair, I'm not that bothered, because you want to see me train in the gym. This is honest me training in the gym. People are going to be walking about. It's not like I can have freedom to record everything perfectly. But yeah, I just thought that was quite funny. Anyway, so we moved on anyway from those movements into some arm movements. We moved on to a barbell curl, which is one of my favourite movements. I used to do that a lot when I was younger, and sort of added it in now because I enjoy doing it. It looks cool. It's a bit pain to set up, obviously, because you have to get a barbell out, and you cannot be curling in the squat rack, so you've got to take it out and find some space. And this is another movement that I've posted on my Instagram, sort of a lying cable curl. I really like it. Don't go too heavy on this because it does provide quite a lot of tension purely on your biceps. So just be careful with that. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next vlog.